welcome back to Uncle Rob's Kitchen. Today I'm going to be celebrating a 6th month of low uric acid score for gout by making a tasty treat for myself. It's still healthy, a little less healthy than I would normally like to eat, but I'm doing pretty well. And I have a new gift I got for Christmas. Is a small size oven. It can fit about this much in it, so we're going to fit this much in it. This is a 1 kilogram chicken. It's 1,050 grams, actually about a kilogram chicken. Small, basically a one-person meal. I'm going to be making this, and I'm going to be stuffing it with some homemade stuffing, and I'm going to be glazing it with some basic honey glaze. I'm going to show you how all the different steps for that work. Chicken, just buy at the store, fresh, not frozen, so you don't have to worry about anything like that, just from the store. The first thing I'm going to make is the stuffing. Stuffing has a billion different recipes. There's no proper or improper way to do it. The only thing that really matters is the stuffing all has bread. So I'm going to bring this over here. I had some bread. It was going bad, so I cut it into these small cubes of bread. I'm also going to be in my stuffing be using onions that I've cut up into small pieces as well, and about 2 tabs of butter that I've cut up. You can add all sorts of different vegetables, herbs, whatever you want to stuffing. I'm also going to be adding some vegetables. I'm going to be adding some corn. So that's what I'm going to do first. I'm going to take this over here. I'm also going to be adding some rubbed parsley into this. So the way that you basically are just prepping the stuffing because it's going to get roasted in the oven with the chicken. So to prep it, we're going to want enough heat to melt the butter, to coat the vegetables, and not really to cook any of this though. So we're going to be mixing it up while we're cooking it. We just want the butter to melt and kind of coat everything, and we want to equally mix everything up so that it's throughout equally coated and mixed up. So I'm going to give the butter a couple seconds to melt. I'm going to be just putting a little bit of parsley in here for flavor. It doesn't have to be a whole lot. And if you like other herbs, spices, whatever, go for it. Dump it on there. There's really no wrong way to do it. Basically just mostly bread, other stuff mixed in. Most this is going to go up into the bird. And that doesn't, I'm just going to keep out until about halfway through the baking process. And I'm going to add it in on the tray. So basically now that the butter's melting, I'm just going to roll everything around, and I just want to get a nice coating on everything so that it's all lightly buttered. And so that the parsley is sticking to my bread and my onions. The other thing, I'm going to add a little bit of black pepper too. Again, just lightly toasting this. Doesn't need to be cooked. It just needs to be ready to put into the bird. That's it. Doesn't take long at all. So I'm going to come show you. The butter has been melted. It's been a little yellowed and browned in here. And that's it. You're going to be baking in the oven, so you don't really need to cook it more than that. Here, kill the heat here. Next part of this is getting this into the bird, right? If you have a bigger serving spoon, feel free to use it. I don't really have a serving spoon. I'm just going to be taking spoonfuls of the mix. Take 2. I forgot the corn. All right, I'm going to be adding some corn in here. Canned vegetables are already pre-cooked. I'm just putting in about 1/3 of this can of corn. Mix it up with this. Now I'm just going to be standing this up on end next to this to stuff it up. While you're doing this, you should preheat your oven. A 1 kilogram bird, about an hour at 200 degrees centigrade, which is about 375 Fahrenheit should do. Okay, so if you have a bigger bird, it's going to take longer than that. You don't want to go hotter than that, though, or you're going to burn to the outside. If it's going to need to be longer than that, you might want to have a meat temperature. So So you might need a meat thermometer to find out when your bird is fully cooked. A bird this small, I'm not worried about that because it's small enough that it's definitely going to cook all the way through in the hour that it's in there. Okay, so I fit most of this in here, and what doesn't fit, you can kind of force it down, pack it in there, it's alright. The butter from this is going to cook into the chicken, and the chicken's juices are going to cook into the vegetables. I actually end up getting this all in. Drop some pieces, get that in there. Don't be afraid to use your hand, you're going to roast this anyways. If you're the one eating it, your germs anyways, it'll be fine. Alright, sliding it down the tray here. I'm just going to scoop the last little bit out here. I said if you have a lot of extra, put it on halfway through, but this should be fine. I'm going to scoot it under the chicken so it doesn't get too roasted. Push these little flaps back together back here for the chicken. There you go, it's stuffed. Second part is glazing the chicken. Some people like to just take butter and just rub it all over there, and then just roast it, or season it, or put tabs under the skin or whatever. Today we're going to be using a honey glaze. So I've got this chestnut honey made from local bees in Jinhae. I've got this butter, and I've got pizza herb seasoning. This is what I'm going to be using. So first, just take the butter, turn on your heat. Low heat, and for doing this you are going to want a food brush. So let's see, where did Uncle Rob put his food brush? Ah, there it is. Food brush. Alright, so butter's melting. Once it gets about half melted, we're going to take some honey. I'm going to do about 1 part honey to 1 part butter. There we go. Pizza herb. Mix it up. If you're doing this, I would suggest the smaller saucepan. You're going to want to let this bubble for a couple minutes so that everything gets nice and boiled and mixed together, and you're dehydrating the butter and the honey a bit. We're just going to spend a few minutes here, maybe 2 minutes, letting it burn off some water. Boom, there we have it. Alright, so now we got honey butter sauce. We're just going to take the food brush, dip it, start at the neck, and just brush towards the back of the chicken. Don't need a whole lot, it's fine. Make sure to get under its armpits, inside its wings, its legs, and its backside. You'll notice I'm not using anywhere near all of this glaze. Okay. The reason for this is just going to cook for about an hour, and every 10 minutes for the first half an hour or so, I'm going to go in there, I'm going to brush another coat of this onto it, because I like it to have a nice thick flavor on the outside, on the skin, and it'll also protect the skin from getting burned by the oven itself. Okay, so I've preheated my oven to 200 degrees, and now I'm going to put this in there for an hour. Okay, so now we wait. So again, every 10 minutes, I'm going to take this, I'm going to put it on there. You don't need to watch me do that. We'll be back in an hour once I've taken it out of the oven, put it on the table. See you then. Alright, I'm going to take it out of the oven and I'm going to cut into it to see what we're at state-wise here. And it might need to rest. If it needs to rest, you know, and let it be. If it needs to cook more, then I'll put it back in. So let's take it out, see what we got. It's a little dark on top, but it's not burned. That's just the glaze having crystallized. Crispy tops, nice. Alright, so I'm going to take a fork. And I'm just going to cut into here because I want to see, make sure that it is cooked. Alright, there's no pink or red on the inside, so it is cooked. I'm going to let this rest for a couple minutes, and that's that. Alright, so roast yourself some oven chicken, enjoy. I'll put a picture up of the plating. Actually, let's not be done yet. Let's take a look at the stuffing from the inside. So I'm going to spin this around. Right, hold this tray in place and spoon out some of that stuffing onto my tray here. It should be easier to fork this in place. Oh my god. Alright, that's so good. Alright, I'm going to cut off some of this chicken and we'll lay it on here with it. Alright, let's... Oh my goodness, you can see how easily the leg just popped off there. That's a good sign that this is super done. Toss that over here. Oh my. I'm going to cut this wing off. Okay. Put that over here. And look at that breast meat. The rest of this I'm going to let set. I just want to give you a nice train of things to see here. Bring this closer to the camera. Turn off this oven. Ding. Alright, so we have stuffing, breast, leg, thigh. Very nice, honey glazed, oven roasted chicken and stuffing. Super good. Try one for yourself. Thanks for watching Drunk with Rob's Kitchen. See you next time.